So Trading 212 are always improving the app, it seems, and I found a few features that you may have missed or are very new to it. So in this video, I'm going to jump straight into that. So as you can see, this is my Trading 212 stocks and shares ISA. It does look normal at first glance, but you just have to go into an investment and you can see a lot has changed. So as you can see here with my biggest holding in the iShares Core S&P 500, things look the same. I've already talked about the different small changes that they made to the UI. For example, the ticker code, that seems to be moving all the time, and now it's just here in the top left corner. If the green light is on, that means that respective market is open. You can always press it and you can see what dates the stock market is closed or open. It's very easy to see that. That's very nice. As usual, we have our graph at the bottom, 1 day, 1 week, 1 month. That's all well and good, but now if we scroll under investment, you can see the first new change has been made, and now we have a small box here that gives us an overview of the performance of our underlying stocks or ETFs. For example, here it says your investment. You can see that the current value of my holding is £110,849. You can also see your profit or loss or your return, however which way you want to say that. Currently, mine is down by 2.11% or a loss of £2,393. Very easy to see that. You can also see the number of shares that you have at a glance. This change is welcome to me. If only they would make it a tiny bit bigger. I just think it's a bit too small. But anyway, I welcome this change where we can see how many shares we have, our value and our return. Under shares, there is also a hyperlink. Let's go into that. After you press that, you can see the breakdown of your shares. So you can see manual shares that you buy outside of a pie, and then shares that you have within a pie. In the past, I've had the same iShares Core S&P 500 in a pie and outside a pie, so it's nice to see that breakdown has come in now. If you would like a free fractional share on Trading 212 worth up to £100, all you have to do is to click the link in the description box down below. Alternatively, if you've already signed up to Trading 212 in the past 10 days but have not received your free fractional share, all you have to do is to click the 3 horizontal line menu over here. Scroll all the way down until you see the section use promo code. And in this menu, you can enter my code JUBAIR and you should receive a free fractional share. So back to our investment menu. I've just talked about this new card here, which is nice to see. But now we also have related pies. I've seen this before, but now it feels like they have changed the UI for it. So if you're investing into something, for example, like the iShares Core S&P 500, now you can find pies that are quite similar to that, although I'm not sure exactly how they figure that out. But let's go into one of them, the BlackRock Core. Now you can see this is one of the pies that are in collaboration with BlackRock on Trading 212. I made a video about the Vanguard one, but you can see you're now being pushed the BlackRock one. You can also see there is another pie here called ETF, and this is from the social pie. So it's very careful that you do your own research before going into any investment that you're not sure what the underlying companies are. I'm not exactly sure who made this. I think it was Jazz87. 2 followers here, but they have 46 pie copiers and 5,700 views. So they have the GSPX, the VMID, VUSA, VWRL, VWRP. Again, this is not financial advice, but quickly looking at that, you can see there's a lot of overlap. For example, let's just go into, the VUSA here. Now, this will allow us to also see some other features that they have. For example, you can see that they have the stats menu, which is new here. You can see the 52-week period here. You can see the trading days, highs and lows. There's also a new menu here that says volatility. And under this VUSA, you can see this one is in euros. So yeah, this is not financial advice or not investment advice. I'm just randomly going in just to show you the new features. Most of you UK investors would not actually invest into this one. I'm just showing you. There's a new term here called volatility and it says medium. Let's go into that and see what that means. So this brings up the price volatility index and you can read more about it here, but this quickly can give you an overview about the volatility of assets such as ETFs and stocks. Again, none of this is supposed to be financial advice. Now you can also quickly see the expense ratio. They've also changed this around. You can see the assets under management for that particular fund. You can see the dividend frequency and the dividend yield. Although remember, the dividend yield is all linked to the share price, so that does change throughout the day. You can also see the annualized performance. Again, past performance is no indication for future performance. You can see the 1 year, 3 year and 5 year annualized growth. Now you can also see the fund allocation at a glance, so you can see the top 5 companies. For example, if you're comparing the S&P 500 funds, something that I've done a lot in the past, you can quickly see the top 5 companies. And because a lot of these funds, the top 5 companies are usually the best performers. It is a very, very quick gauge, not financial advice about, comparing different funds. But if you press see all here, you can go into it and see the top 10 holdings. You can see the sectors, you can see the countries. As an S&P 500 fund, there is no surprises that it's 100% United States. If you go back to the top 10 holdings, you can also press see all, and that will allow you to look through all the holdings. And you can also now search for the company. So let's say, is AMC a part of my, S&P 500? It actually isn't. Let's see, Netflix, is that part of it? Yes, it is. So it's very easy to see now which companies that, particular fund has through this menu. Now, sticking onto the theme of the S&P 500, one thing I have noticed is if you go into a company like Nvidia, now you have something that is completely new for trading 212, and that is an AI analysis. Now, I don't know the irony behind this, Nvidia being a company that has been pushed by AI, and now Trading 212 being the company that has integrated AI into, their investment platform. All good to see, because of course AI does make workflows a lot simpler. There's obviously a lot of work to be done when it comes to AI. It's obviously very power hungry, but anyway, that's far from the point. So under very popular companies like Nvidia, you now have this AI analysis thing, and you can actually listen to an AI overview or read. Now, when you press listen, this is what happens.
Nvidia continues in a strong uptrend, holding elevated levels after a sharp rally since early May.
As you can see, a sort of podcast plays. Now, I don't know if I can show you this on my phone, but you can see it comes up as a sort of media file that you can actually play. It's about 1 minute and 15 seconds for this particular AI overview, but you can also read this. Now, before you go into this, it does warn you that AI is very experimental. There can be inaccuracies, and also this is not investment or financial advice. But I think it's absolutely crazy that, companies such as Trading 212 are now using AI for overviews. Now let's read a little bit about what they say. For example, they do talk about Nvidia being in a strong uptrend. They talk about the rally, key events, and things like that could help you as an investor, learn a bit more about the company. Of course, this is not financial or investment advice. This is just used as guidelines or tools to better help understand, without wasting too much time on a lot of research, the very quick synopsis of a company, and should not be used as, investment advice. Staying on Nvidia, we also have a lot of other things that we can see. We have the feed that has been around for a while, but now it is revamped with the UI. You can see these are now bigger than ever, and now they are square. You do have the stats, but we've gone through this before. As you can see, volatility is high for Nvidia, but you can see you can further explore these stocks, and you can go into their financials. You could go into the financials a while ago, but now it has just been moved down here. Now, as usual, you can look at the income statement for the past few years. Actually, you can go all the way back to 1999 for Nvidia. That's not a guarantee that could be done for every company. You can see their revenue, you can see quarterly statistics, their balance sheets, cash flow. But again, please don't use this as financial advice, and this may not be the complete up-to-date figures. This is just, again, an overview to help you more understand a company. This is not intended to be used as your sole research when picking individual stocks, something I don't recommend anyway. Trading 212 seem to be making a lot of new changes, and I like new things as it gives the end user more control over their investments. So make sure to check out some of my other videos, and I'll see you in the next video.